Last week, the GOP unveiled their long-awaited tax reform plan. People are calling this the biggest change to the tax code in modern history. The proposal could bring massive changes to what people pay in taxes. Talking Points contributor Dan Prager is in studio to tell us what's in the bill and the chances that it gets passed. Dan?
Well, thanks, guys. Like you said, this plan is going to bring huge changes to the tax code if it gets passed, and there's a lot, so I'm just going to get right into it. The most important change is that Trump wants to simplify 7 tax brackets into 3. Now, those rates would be 35, 25, and 12%. Now, those numbers are averages of the old numbers, so this is really big. While that top 1% is seeing a huge 4% decrease in their taxes, you actually see the lowest tax bracket having to pay even more taxes. You do see the upper and lower middle class getting a bit of a decrease, but the one big narrative coming off this bill is that the increase in the lower classes' taxes is compounded by the rich getting this huge tax break. Now, the next big thing to come here is a huge reduction in business taxes. Both the corporate tax and small business tax are reduced by about 15%. That corporate tax would be put below the global average, which could make a lot of businesses want to stay in the U.S. But that is a bit risky. I've seen some estimates that say the reduction will cost the U.S. $1.5 trillion. There's a chance that businesses will make up that difference, but it is risky. The top rate for small businesses would be sent down to 25%, and the Trump administration is working on clauses to make sure that those businesses can't cheat the system for a smaller rate. Some other things the plan does is it doubles the standard deduction. So your first $12,000 of profit go tax-free. If you're a family, that's $24,000. It also eliminates the federal estate tax, something Republicans have wanted for years, and it repeals the minimum tax on the upper class. But the big problem Republicans are facing here is that they don't really have a plan to pay for all these tax decreases. Those costs have to come from somewhere, and Republicans are trying to cut balancing taxes and not increasing the deficit. The plan has no outline to cover the deficits it would create, and that may be the bill's downfall. Republicans have already had problems passing legislation, and this may follow the same pattern. The GOP can only afford 2 defections, and they have to make everyone happy. They have to keep their large tax cuts to keep libertarians like Rand Paul on board, and they need to keep in some key tax breaks to hold on to moderate conservatives like Susan Collins. But their biggest problem may be that they don't have a plan to pay for it. Bob Corker of Tennessee has already said that if the bill adds 1 penny to the deficit, he will vote against it, and many conservatives would likely follow it. Keep an eye on the bill this upcoming week, guys, because this is going to be a big fight, and it could be the fight that makes or breaks Trump.